Why teens should drive. Although in most states, people are legally able to drive at the age of 16, many believe that age is too young. Teenagers make up about 7% of all the drivers on the road, yet they have higher crash rates than drivers of other age groups. Allowing a teenager to drive a car can be a risky prospect, yet there could be some benefits, as well. The debate on this topic is: pros and cons of changing the driving age to 18, pros and cons of driving at the age of 16 or even 14. What does car driving provide for teens? Greater independence for teens. Many adults would agree that in today's world, not having a car or not being able to drive can be a great hindrance. People rely on their cars for their jobs, running important errands, and otherwise living what can be considered a normal and comfortable life. While young children rely on their parents to take them everywhere, they grow more independent once they become teenagers. They start getting jobs and learning what it is like to live in the real world. That can be difficult if they need to rely on their parents to take them everywhere. By learning how to drive, they can gain a measure of independence and begin to live their own lives. They need to learn before they live on their own. Teenage drivers may be inexperienced and account for as many as 14% of all police-reported crashes in the country. But at least these young men and women are still able to learn while under the guidance of parents and other responsible adult drivers. As scary as a reckless teenage driver who doesn't know any better can be, the idea that there could be independent adults who are just as dangerous because they never learned how to drive may be even scarier. It's better that they learn while they still can look to a parent for guidance. Of course, this is not to say that all teenagers are ready to drive. Due to their developing state, it may be best if they wait until they are more mature. We continue about theme why teens should drive. It's easier for parents. Parents of children who cannot drive can very quickly become chauffeurs to their own kids. While many parents enjoy the extra time spent with their children as they drive them to school, sporting events, parties or other places, it can take up a lot of a parent's free time. Allowing a teenager to drive places he or she wants to go is not only good for the teen's independence, but the parent's independence as well. As long as the teenager in question is safe and obeys the rules of the road, it can be a good way for everyone to live his or her own life at least part of the time. Good driving habits can be encouraged just as easily as bad ones. This tip goes hand in hand with teens learning how to drive while they still have parental guidance. A teenager who is taught good habits, such as obeying traffic laws, driving defensively and carpooling whenever possible, at a young age will most likely have those same habits when he or she is an independent adult. Yes, they could just as easily learn bad habits from their peers. But that's why parents should take an active role in the learning process. And this has been the argument about why teens should drive. And you? What do you think about the issue of driving the youngest?